Hey, saints and ain'ts. Hello, y'all. How you guys doing? It is your girl. I am back. Y'all, I'm not trying to sound romantic, okay? I'm not trying to sound romantical at all. but I'm just fighting, a little small battle, but so I know I sound like really nasally and my voice is probably very mellow and monotoned. Um, but it's not intentional. I am overcoming a little difficulty. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I wanted to come on because I have been getting requests from a few of my subscribers and CP moms asking me to do another video. And to be honest, you guys, if I try to plan when I'm going to do a video, it probably won't happen, to be honest. A lot of times I will do a video like if I'm out of the house or um, you know, and I know I'm kind of by myself and try to do videos looking halfway decent. So I just humbly ask that you all please excuse my appearance because I have not been feeling well. So yeah, so this is what you get. Okay, so I hope you all can look past like my hair and all of that good stuff. Hopefully, you know, my smiling face will help y'all get through this video. But I did want to at least meet some of the requests from some of my wonderful subscribers and CP moms. I was like, I don't feel my best. I don't look my best, but it's okay. You all are worth it. So I was like, let me just jump on and talk to you guys for a little while. I'm hoping that I'm even doing this right, y'all. I told you guys, I just get on here and push record. I try to, like I said, look halfway decent, but it's rough. Your girl having a rough time, but hopefully, like I said, y'all can look past that. What was I getting ready to say? Oh, I can't remember. But if you all see me licking my lips a lot, like I said, my throat is dry, my mouth is dry. My braces, I got to get new wires for my braces, so my teeth are really sensitive too. So you see me like doing weird stuff with my lips and all that stuff is just like I said, got a lot going on, and my braces should be coming off. I'm hoping next year because I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do and go to the orthodontist like I'm supposed to. But that's gonna be another subject for another time. I'm gonna save that for a story time. But anywho, y'all, I'm just talking right now before I get into my little topic of why I even came on here. I'm just shooting the bug with y'all for a little while since we're friends and everything. And hopefully my voice doesn't sound like Harry Potter or Barry White or Batman or something. I don't know. Cause I'm not trying to sound deep. That's really, this is about it for me. Cause if I try to push out my voice too much more, then I might go like into like this coughing spell. And y'all don't want that. It's just not pleasant at all. But I hope y'all have been good. I hope my CPP moms have been doing good. Welcome to my channel. For those who are new to my channel, those who have just popped in just to see what this is all about, and maybe you were referred to my channel And then I have some of my regulars that support me and watch me all the time. Hey girl, hey. Hey girl, hey. Hey girl, hey. Hey girl, hey. How y'all doing? I'm gonna start giving some shout outs to some of you guys that leave so many wonderful comments on my videos. I thank you for all of the ones that wished me a happy birthday, all of the ones that had so many kind things to say and always praying for me and wishing me well and praying for my babies and things like that. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you all have left me a message and I didn't respond, I apologize in advance. I try to respond to the majority of my comments if you have a question or something like that. And then there are some where I may choose not to respond. Hopefully, you weren't one of those people. I don't find that too often, so it's probably just an oversight. But I just wanted to just say thank you guys. But let's get to it, y'all. So the reason why I'm on here again is just to just chit chat and just because I've been getting requests to do another video. Um, I don't know if y'all just like to hear me talk, but that's cool. But one of the, I guess, if I had to think about one of the most, I guess, more popular questions that I've been having to answer, like maybe this month, I would say, is like a lot of, when I say a lot of people, y'all, I don't mean that literally, because I don't have a whole lot of followers. I mean, I'm not popping like that. But there are many women that will inbox me wanting to talk to me and like personally talk to me. And then I may get questions saying, I've been pregnant maybe what, beyond 9 months, 12 months, 14 months, and some women believe they may be going through a cryptic pregnancy, and they begin to kind of like dialogue about their symptoms and what they've been going through, and then they'll start asking me questions like, well, how long have you been pregnant, and do you have you experienced this, that, and the other? And what I usually do is just, if I'm able to answer the question in one or two sentences, I'll go ahead and answer it. But if it's a lot of questions that require, like, for me to be typing for a significant amount of time, I will refer people to watch certain videos because a lot of those questions I've already answered. But this is another reason why I'm doing this video this time, is because I do want to kind of dispel a certain myths and misconceptions about cryptic pregnancy. I've seen other women and women and nurses, I guess, or women who have not actually experienced a cryptic pregnancy, but they may know something about cryptic pregnancy. But a lot of the information that I've come across is either outdated information or information that you can tell that they pulled from the internet, or maybe they've gotten from something they read. But I really wish that when people sit down and talk about cryptic pregnancy, that they actually sit with women who are going through CP. And that may have been their experience, but the reason why I kind of question it is because a lot of the same things are repeated when people give a description of what cryptic pregnancy is. I have a disclaimer that I always go by, and that is I always tell my story about my CP experience, about my journey, and what my experience has been, you know, throughout my journey thus far. I can't really speak for another person. A lot, like I said, I've said it in the past, a lot of our stories are very similar, but every pregnancy is different in terms of maybe when we start to experience different things within the pregnancy. So that's something else I want to talk about. I probably will have to do another video about that because that can be kind of lengthy in explanation. What else? Yeah, so I don't know exactly what some of my subscribers wanted me to talk about when they suggested or requested me to do another video. So let me see where I want to start. Again, I always talk about how it's very, very hard for people to wrap their head around what we're going through anyway. And I don't, you know, spend a whole lot of time trying to convince people. I just tell my story. And I just live my life. And I just, I try to get through it the best way that I can. I've grown a lot since I first became pregnant. In the beginning, it was a harder situation to deal with than what it is now. God has just done some miraculous things in my life, and that is, I pay homage and give all glory and honor to God for where I am today. It is nothing of my own doing. It is simply the grace and mercy of God and His hand on my life that has gotten me to where I am today. And I would suggest to any person, whether you're going through this kind of journey or not, put Him first. He is the key and the answer to everything. If you want to know how I have courage, if you want to know how I'm able to get through certain things and deal with certain things and just overcome, it is nothing but the grace and mercy of God, because I release everything to Him. I give it over. I turn it over when I'm mad, when I'm sad, when I'm in pain, when I'm not sure, when I'm confused, when I'm broken, when I'm angry. Everything I give to the Lord, and I surrender to Him, and I'm relentless in my pursuit of God. I'm relentless. I really, really am, because I love Him, and I know that He is the best advisor, and I know that He's right about everything and wrong about nothing. So I surrender unto the Lord in everything that I do. And I can say that with confidence. And my boast is in the Lord. And so if you all want to know how I overcome, and y'all, I'm telling you, it's nothing but Jesus. I'm trying to tell you all, and what I'm learning about all of this is that it's not just about my pregnancy. This journey is not just about cryptic pregnancy. And I think we all need to come to realize that God is bigger than our situation, that He has a purpose and a call for His creation and for your life. And your pursuit should be, Lord, what is your purpose for my life? And sometimes we seek God for His hand and not His face. And we look to God for what He can give us and what He can do for us. But we don't really want to pursue God to find out what we can do for Him. And we don't want to see what changes we need to make in our lives so that we're pleasing God. And a lot of times we just want our problems solved. We just want our questions answered. But we really don't want a true relationship with the Lord. And when you think about any kind of relationship, you don't want to just be with somebody who can just get what they can from you, but they really don't care anything about you. You want to be with somebody that really cares about you, cares about your heart, cares about how you feel. That's with any relationship. He's a person. He's a person that lives on the inside of us. He's our Heavenly Father. So I'm just letting y'all know, shooting straight from the hip, my source, my answers come from God. And his answers transcends what doctors say, what people think, how people feel. And when the Lord confirms something in your life, and when the Lord gives you an answer, and when the Lord begins to reveal to you and show you what's happening in your life, that's all the answers you need. And that's where your confidence can come in because it came from the Most High. And so that's where I am in my journey, in my pregnancy. And all things work together for the good of them that love God, for those who are in Christ Jesus. So, y'all, I'm just being 100. And, He is my source of everything. So, when I get on here and do these videos with you guys, and, we're answering questions and we're talking and things, I try to be as transparent as I can and be as honest. I mean, I don't know any other way to be. I wouldn't be dishonest, but be honest about, just where I am in my thoughts and in my heart and things like that. And I was like, yo, I want to get right now so excited, like, and I want to say this so loud because it's like when I talk about the goodness of God, and when I talk about just being victorious in God, and I want to say it so loud, man. But like I said, my throat and my voice, I can't push it out like I want to, man. But it's like fire. It's like fire, man. It's like fire. That's what I'm telling you guys with this pregnancy. Like, don't just make it about babies. Don't just make it about, when your babies are coming. And, I know any mom and any pregnant mom will want to know the gender of their child and the due date and whether they're healthy and all of that stuff. Don't get me wrong. I want those answers too. And I'm gonna say this. There are some things I do have answers to, but I'm not gonna disclose it. Not now. But I'll just say, put your trust and your hope in the Lord. Put it in the Lord, guys. And if you don't know how to do that, all you gotta do is just talk to God like you talk to anybody else. I mean, we all know to have reverence and respect for the Lord. But what I'm saying is just like, you may not understand the Bible. You might not be a religious person. You might not be somebody who is giving your life to Christ. You may not be somebody who you may not even feel real close to God. But I can tell you right now, God is near to you. He is. And when you talk to him, I give you an example of what you can say or how you can just, Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, God, I'm coming to you because I have a lot going on in my heart and in my mind, and I'm just overwhelmed, and I feel like I'm lost, or Lord, I'm angry, or I'm hurt, or I'm having these feelings and I don't know how to process them. I'm having trouble with unforgiveness. And some people don't even know to start out their prayers with saying, Father God, in the name of Jesus. And that's just an acknowledgement of who he is and his deity. And when you say Father God, in the name of Jesus, it's just because Jesus Christ is the mediator between God and man. And our prayers are filtered through him. He takes our prayers and presents them to God. And that's the reason why why believers say, Father God, in the name of Jesus. And if you can't remember that, you can still say, God, this is so and so. Or God, He knows your heart. He's not going to not hear you because you don't say, Father God, in the name of Jesus. But I had to put that out there just because sometimes when people hear me pray, they may not understand why I say that. So that's why I mentioned that also. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me take a drink of water real quick. My mouth is so dry. So, yeah, yo, that's what you can do and just say, God, I'm just here because I have, and I mean, I know a lot of people probably say I pray to God all the time. I talk to God every time, all the time, but nothing happens. He doesn't hear me. Things don't change. I'm still praying about the same thing, blah, blah. Well, our ways are not His ways. Our timing is not His timing. I can't give an account or a reason for God not responding to something. Sometimes God is silent. And a lot of times, there are things that still need to be worked out within us. So I don't know, but God will deal with our hearts accordingly. Just know that He will deal with our hearts accordingly. But the key is to pray without ceasing and not to give up and to continue to walk in faith. So that would definitely be my encouragement to those who are trying to cope with this and deal with all of the complexities that come along with it from, diagnosis from the doctors and dealing with family members and friends and acquaintances and things like that. You know how with this kind of pregnancy, you know, um, doctors say, or yeah, that they can't see the babies on a sonogram and our tests come back negative and we just don't our pregnancies are just not medically recognized. And that can be a very, very difficult thing, but that doesn't mean that they won't ever be. And it does not mean that our bodies cannot change or stabilize to get certain, results to show that we are in fact pregnant. We have to take every limitation off of God. Every limitation off of God because, you know, He can do anything, you know. He can every dysfunctional cell and molecule in our bodies that's off or that is not working properly or that is improperly aligned. God can align it. God can fix it. God can replace it. God can change it. He can do it. So we may have a negative test result today, but we may not have one tomorrow. We may not have one next week. We may wake up, and God has done a miraculous work in us that has turned our insides, turn our bodies from the inside out. He can do a work in us. He can give us a new whatever we may need to have fixed. It can give us a new one, whatever it is. This, like I said, we all know that this pregnancy is very complicated, very complex. It changes all the time. There is no absolute answer that I know of about this pregnant, and there are some research there is research that has been done that people do understand and know about, and something about an incarcerated uterus and hormonal imbalances. That's why we don't get the HCG that we're supposed to get with this kind of pregnancy, and the baby's implanting outside of the womb, and the baby's being in our backs and in between our organs, up under our ribs, all the way, where our kidneys are, in our flank area. I mean, these babies are all over the place. But the miraculous thing is that they are still surviving. The miraculous thing is that these babies are still alive. They're miracles. These babies are still getting the nutrition that they need from our bodies. God is sustaining these lives that are inside of us. And then the awesome thing that I think about CP is that a lot of the percentage rate, there's a high percentage rate of multiples with these pregnancies. So we get to have like not one, but two, maybe even three babies at one time. Now, some people may say, I only want one, and some people may say, I'll take whatever God gives me. And I'm that person. I'll take whatever is in there, I'll take it. But that's a blessing that we have. Like for me, now we'll be transparent about this because I've always known this from the very beginning of my pregnancy that I was having multiples. Now, at one point, I thought I was having honestly, y'all, at least six. That's really, really, really what I believed and what I saw. Now, there's something that I did, and I'm not going to even necessarily say learn about, but I guess I kind of did. And it's called fetal absorption, where a woman can have multiples, but one of the babies gets absorbed back into the body. And I honestly believe I experienced that because based on my sonograms and what I saw years ago, based on what I see now, there's definitely not the same amount of babies that I saw back then than what I see now. Right now, what I honestly feel is about three. And it could be more because babies hide behind one another. So I really don't know, but I do really, in my humble, opinion, and based on the heartbeats that I see, I'm thinking at least three for me. But if it's more, hey, okay, I'm fine with that. I just whatever it is what it is. I just thank God for sustaining me to be able to carry my babies this long and still have my life, health, and strength. So, I'm okay because God has me, So I'm running out of time because y'all know once I get going, it's hard for me to stop because I love to talk. But one other thing I wanted to say real quick is I'm just going to touch on this is when I said that I see some nurses or women come on and even medical professionals and these doctors talk about cryptic pregnancy and they're wrong. And when I say they're wrong, I don't know, like I said, where they're getting their information from or if they're just repeating some statistics from something they read. And then one thing that I always hear is that people that have a cryptic pregnancy didn't know that they were pregnant or don't know that they're pregnant. Now, in the beginning, I did not know I was pregnant because I thought that I was going through perimenopause because with these pregnancies, you still get your period. And so I wasn't sure what was happening in my body. I knew something was going on, but I didn't necessarily know it was pregnancy because there was such a contradiction with the symptoms of CP. CP mimics PMS, CP mimics perimenopause, CP mimics menopause. There's so you really can't pinpoint what's happening to your body in the beginning because you have pregnancy symptoms and all of that, but you still get your period. Now, the reason why I knew that something was off or something that I had to continue to listen to my body, because I noticed obviously the fatigue and the tiredness and all of that was there, but then I noticed that my body started changing. Like I had to like go shopping to buy new clothes because my clothes would just get really, really tight in my midsection. And I've always stayed in the same size clothes for over 15 years. I've never had to buy, I stayed in between certain sizes. And then I noticed like one moment my stomach would look like it was protruding, and then there were times where it looked normal, like it's like something is going on. And so fast forwarding, um, what really made me look further into it and actually get a sonogram was one day I was at home and I was sitting in I was no, okay, I take wait, yeah. I was sitting on the couch and I will never forget it. I was watching TV and I just noticed like I felt some like a flutter, right? And I just felt like this movement in my stomach, right? And then at first I didn't really pay any attention. I was just like, I don't know. I just didn't pay attention to it. And then I think I just like I don't know if I felt it again, but after that, after I felt like the flutter, then I felt under my stomach, I could feel heartbeats. Like I could feel like I could feel like a pulsation at the bottom of my stomach. So I took my hands and I put my hands up under my stomach, one hand on each side, and I literally felt heartbeats. Literally. And I just sat there like, oh my God. Like I just could not believe it. And so I was like, okay. So um I don't even know what I did after that. I think I just kind of basked in that for a while. And then what confirmed what I felt was I had went like I said, I had already knew something was going on. And I think I had before I felt this. No, yeah, I felt the no. So I'm getting confused because I don't know if I had the sonogram done before I felt the flutters or after. But I think it might have been after, because once I saw my stomach felt my stomach flutter and move, and I felt the heartbeats, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get a sonogram done. And when I went to go get a sonogram, of course, that was like, we don't see any baby. There's nothing there. You're not pregnant or whatever. So I was like, let me get a copy. I said to myself, I'm going to get a copy of my ultrasound because I want to see this myself. Like, I hear what you're saying, but my body is telling me something totally different. I'm getting a total different signal from my body. Like, something is not right. Even just in how I was like, so anyway, long story short, I got a copy of my sonogram. And I looked at my sonogram and I looked at it for a good while, right? And I happened to just kind of look down at the bottom of the sonogram, and lo and behold, baby's sitting right there. And I said, I knew it. I was like, I knew it. And my daughter had came home, and I showed my daughter, and I was like, such and such. I was like, look at this and tell me what you see. And she was like, Mom, it's a picture of a baby. I see it. And I was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me. But do you see what I see? And she was like, yes. And my daughter's the kind of person where if she don't see it, she's not gonna say she see it. And I was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't just me imagining it because, maybe, it's what I want to see. And she's like, no, I see it. And I say it. I was like, cause can't you see this? That you can see the arms, the legs, whatever. She was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. So after that, I knew. I didn't care what they said. It wasn't. There was nothing there, and you because when I went to go get examined by my doctor, she was like, as a matter of fact, when she examined me, she was like, you're actually getting ready to start your period. And it was true. She was right. I was. I think I ended up coming on like a couple of days after I got examined. And she was like, no, you're not pregnant. You're actually getting ready to start your period. So, like I said, it was just so many contradictions. But what kept me in pursuit of this was what I was feeling in my body. So I knew something. I knew I was pregnant because my body started to give me signals that something was going on, something ain't right. And like I said, the weight gain, and even I was pregnant longer than what I even. Y'all, I'm telling you, this my story. My story goes back longer than what I even knew. Like I had always had pregnancy symptoms, but I thought it was perimenopause. I just did not think it was. I wasn't. I felt like it was pregnancy, but the only reason what made me think that it wasn't pregnancy is because I was getting my period. But if I wasn't getting my period and I felt the way that I was feeling, I would have had no questions about it. But what made me question it and what made me not know for sure is because I kept bleeding and I was bleeding heavy. And so, and then the symptoms would be ongoing and then they would stop and then they would stop. So it was just, my body was just very out of whack, like very, very out of whack. And then I would say maybe around 20, end of 2017, beginning of 2018, that's when all of the symptoms just really started to become full fledged. And it has not, obviously it hasn't stopped since then, but prior years, like when like 2016, 20 like 15 and 16, when I started, I was feeling weird then too, and feeling different things too. But um, what when I started feeling kicks, that was the I don't even know. That was just the tell all, I guess. Cause after that, when I started getting sonograms done after that, and my stomach started continuing to get bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where I couldn't even walk anymore. Like I had to use a scooter. I could no longer physically walk because the babies were that heavy. They were so heavy. I had to after about a year, I had to get a scooter because I just couldn't walk. And I said no, about not a year, maybe about 2 years, I guess. Like from I was good in 2017. I was good in 2018, meaning walking on my own. I think I started having problems. I had to stop. Let me see. The end of 2018, going into 2019 is when I believe I kind of had to start using the scooter. I couldn't walk anymore. It was just too much pressure on my body and on my back. And then um yeah, it just, yeah, it was just too much on me physically. And to this day, I still have to use either a walk, I mean, not a walker, a scooter or a wheelchair. Um, but that's gotten better because I had a big problem with fluid. I had a lot of fluid on my lungs and on my heart and stuff from the pregnancy and from this medication that I was taking. So I'm just healing from that in June of this year. the end of June, mid June, is when I finally started to get um, the physical liberty to move around a little bit more because we finally got to the bottom of the fluid issue, and I got put on the right medicine for to help get rid of the fluid. And I still have to take the medicine like regularly, but and like I said, I still can't walk long distances. I can take more steps, and I can do a little bit more than what I used to be able to do. But as far as walking long distances, no, I can't. Because the babies are in my back and they're extremely, extremely heavy. And I'm just in a lot, always have a lot of back pain. But, it's just a part of the pregnancy. And like I said, I'm having multiples. And I say three, but, I really don't know. I mean, I don't know. And like I said, I'm not really hung up on that as much as I am just wanting, to just be able to have my baby or babies. But whatever God says, whatever God says. But for people to say that you don't know with cryptic pregnancy that you are pregnant, you do know that you're pregnant. You do know you may not be able to confirm it because of the type of pregnancy it is, and because we still get a period, and because the doctors don't tell us everything that we need to know about our situation, and they don't medically recognize the pregnancies as being viable because our HCG levels are so low and we get a false negative. That's why we're told we're not pregnant, that we're not pregnant, and our babies are not directly in our uterus. And if they are in the uterus, they're way, 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 way far in the back somewhere where you really got to look to find them and see them. And if the I don't want to call these people technicians, but the people that do the sonogram, they're not going to look for our babies. And a lot of times they see the image of the baby on the sonogram, but they'll keep going right past it like they never saw it. And I don't know if it's part of their training or if they're trained not to acknowledge something as being a baby that's not in a uterus. I don't know what they're told. But one thing I know, Stevie Wonder can see it. That's for sure. And if Stevie Wonder can see it, they can too. I look right at the monitor. I've looked right at the monitor many times and I've seen the baby as clear as they see a face right here on the monitor. The baby's face is literally right there. Not one, not two, but like three. You can see the limbs, everything. And those girls that do these that do this does these sonograms will skim over them so quick. I even had a lady that did my sonogram with my baby's my you can see my baby's fist, the hand, the face, eyes, everything. This woman X'd out like 4 pictures, a big old X, a red X like tic tac toe, on 4 pictures that she deleted that she did not want to go on the CD that they had to burn for me. But I took a picture of it when I was changing my clothes in the room. She left the screen up. I took a picture of it with my phone, and that's how I captured the babies on the sonogram that she deleted, so that when I got a copy of it, those pictures would not be on there. I have it to this day. And I don't know why I know why she X'd them out, because she didn't want me to see the babies on that sonogram. And I don't know why they're trained. I don't know if that's part of their training. I don't know if they're told to not let a woman see that. But how do you live with yourself? How do you sleep at night knowing that you got an image like that? And if that's part of the sonogram and that's part of what you capture doing the sonogram, why would you exit that out? Why would you not let a mom see that? That's why I'm just like, man, it's like the medical field is just trash. It really is. And it's just like people do anything for a paycheck. So you'll let a mother, and you're a female, you're a woman. And to this day, I don't understand why that was done. I mean, I do, but I don't, you know. And so yeah, I'm getting excited, y'all. Let me calm down, because when I talk loud like that, my throat hurts. But that's the kind of stuff that just really makes me upset. It really does, because it's just that's the most inhumane thing you can do. And if I find a clip, I don't know, y'all. Sometimes I have so many pictures and so many things that I try to keep on my phone. I'll see if I can find that and try to put the clip in the video. I ain't gonna make no promises, y'all, because I have to search up and down my phone to try to find that picture. But if I come across it and it's not as hard as I think it is to find it, I'm gonna try to put it in this video. But y'all, that's just one of the things that people, well, nurses or females or doctors always say about CP is that a person with cryptic pregnancy don't know that they're pregnant. That's a myth. It's not true. We do know that we are pregnant. And there's many, many other myths and untruths about CP that these women get on YouTube and talk about as if they know what they're talking about. First of all, they don't give CP moms the time of day to sit down and explain and talk to them about what they're experiencing. So how can you get on YouTube and say what a cryptic pregnancy is when we get shunned? We don't even get the opportunity to say what we're going through. The moment we tell somebody we've been pregnant over 9 months, and don't let us say we've been pregnant 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, first thing they want to say is that we have, what is it, periodosis or something like that, or something, whatever word it is, it starts with a P, but that's the word where you have what they try to say you're psychologically or mentally, something's mentally wrong with you, and you think this is when a woman thinks that she's pregnant, but she's really not. And she has all of the symptoms of a pregnant woman. Her stomach actually protrudes out. She like, we get the baby bump, we feel movements, we feel kicks, but we're not pregnant. Like that's how psychologically unstable that they think that we are when we tell them we've been pregnant beyond 11 or 12 months. That's the automatic label that we get. So how do you come on YouTube or give your so-called professional opinion about CP when you never sat down with an actual CP mom to allow them to tell you their truth, and you not judge them and call them crazy or insane? Let them tell you the story about CP. How do you tell a story you have no experience about? You have no clue what it's like for a mom to be carrying this kind of pregnancy this long, because, first of all, you don't believe it. Second of all, you don't think it's scientifically possible. Third of all, your schooling and your education and your arrogance and your pride is not going to even let you hear what a woman like me and all these other thousands and thousands and thousands of CP moms have to say, because you have a degree and because you went to school, you think you are smarter than me and that you have more experience and knowledge than me because you have a degree. But you're not pregnant. You're not the one that's carrying a baby or multiple babies inside of you for 4, 5, and 6 years. The only thing you can say is that the body can't do this, the body can't do that. It's not scientifically possible. But let me tell you what you don't know. If you don't know that God can do anything, because if you knew God could do anything, you wouldn't be saying what is impossible, because you didn't create my body, God created my body. So it will behoove you, this, yes, professional, yes, nurse, yes, person doing the ultrasounds, nurses, what do you call it, when you get a doula and a midwife, and all of y'all that has had 25, 30 years of experience with women that are pregnant. That's great. But how many of you all have sat down and had experience with a mom that's been pregnant 4 or 5 years and you actually know their story? What experience did you have with that? Please tell me because I'll wait. I want to know. Because we can't even tell y'all our truth and we can't tell y'all our story because the first thing you want to say to us is that it's impossible. You can't be pregnant that long. My own gynecologist told me that. She pretty much laughed in my face and she was like, weren't you here 20 years ago with the same story? Very arrogant, very, like dismissive type of attitude, like, okay, let me just hurry up and get this woman out of here. And I was like, no, it's that as I've seen you, and it hasn't been 20 years ago. It's before that, and it wasn't you that I saw. It was your assistant, But she was just very mm, just no bedside manner. And so my father was with me at this particular appointment, and I was so sick that day. I was so, as a matter of fact, the same day I had the appointment with her, I actually ended up her office was in the hospital that I was admitted to that same day, and I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. So I didn't even really have the mental capacity to go back and forth with her because I kind of already knew what to expect because you know they're scientifically driven and they don't have the capacity in their mind to look past what they learned in school or what their experience is as doctors. So I didn't really have a chance, but that's okay. That's because she even said, she's like, well, if you end up having a baby, I mean, I stand to be corrected. I mean, you can come back and let me know. And I said, so let me ask you this. And I stay humble. I mean, I wasn't happy. I had so many mixed emotions going on. But I was just like, I said, well, is there any way I can just get checked out periodically just to kind of see what's going on in my body? She was like, well, I don't know what else you want me to do. And she was basically like saying, there's nothing else I can do for you. And I was like, okay. And I mean, honestly, I wasn't mad about it because I really wouldn't want someone like her dealing with me as a woman, just because of her attitude and just the way that she handled me. And so it wasn't a loss to me. It's just like, okay, not a problem. But I just wanted to dismiss this so called myth or this so called these women, and nurses that come on here and say that when you have CP is when you know cryptic pregnancy is when you don't know you're pregnant. That is not true. It's not true. And then they say this statistic is 1 out of 450 women have these pregnancies. First of all, that's an old statistic. That you can throw that out the window because that's the farthest thing from the truth too. That's not true either. There's way more than 1 out of 450 women with this pregnancy. I'm not going to quote a statistic because I don't know exactly what the number is, but what I do know, it is far more than 1 out of 450. Far more. So let's just dismiss that myth too, because that is a lie. And like I said, we don't get a chance to tell our story. We don't get a chance to explain to these professionals, so called professionals, what our experience is because they won't get past the fact that this is even possible. And then we get insulted all the time and told that we have mental issues because and then when when women with cryptic pregnancies do deliver and do have their babies, we don't hear a whole lot about that. I mean, we tell our stories, but it ain't on Phil Don. I'm not Phil Donahue. Y'all know I'm old. It ain't on what is it, Dr. Phil. Then that this lady that just had a baby and was pregnant for 6 years just delivered a baby. Why? I wonder why we ain't on talk shows about that. So y'all don't even worry about it. That's why I'm here. That's why not just me. I'm not exclusive. But I'm one of the voices crying in the wilderness. One. That's why y'all, if you're comfortable, tell your story. If you're comfortable, and everybody's not, and it's okay. It's okay. Believe me, it's okay. But me, I'ma tell my story. And I'ma tell it so that I can give my truth. And that I ain't gotta have nobody else gonna tell my story for me. When my kids see these videos, when my kids grow up and they hear all these stories about, oh, your mom was pregnant with y'all for 29 years, or your mom died because she had, all of my kids can see this video for themselves, you know? So I'm here for it. And I know this video is like way over. Probably won't get a lot of views because y'all know when you do a video over 30 minutes, people not gonna really, you're not gonna hold their interest that long. But, I really just felt like I needed to just say what I had to say. And, yeah. So, and I'm gonna come back and I'll finish talking more about all of these so-called, what cryptic pregnancy is and what cryptic pregnancy isn't. And these people come on here and y'all not really pregnant. Y'all have this and y'all have that. And it's called this and it's called that. Like I said, I did a video, y'all. Go back and check it out. It's called Bubblegum Baby. Now, yeah, I know that's a weird story. I mean, a weird title. But there's a reason behind that title. It's called Bubblegum Baby. That's the name of it. Go back and read that video. I mean, look at that video. Because at the end of the day, y'all, it doesn't really matter to me what it's called. What matters to me is that what we are experiencing is real. And the fact that we are mothers and that we are expecting moms, that we are pregnant and we want to enjoy our pregnancy just like any other mom that's pregnant. We want to take photo shoots of our pregnancy. We want to have a baby shower. We want to decorate our nursery. We want to do all of that. We just don't have a time frame. We don't know when we can have those type of celebratory things because our babies and our pregnancies are indefinite. So we don't have that luxury, but people can sit back and make comments and say things about something that they have no clue about. No clue. No clue at all. And a lot of women are suffering in silence. A lot of women don't even mention their pregnancy. They don't even talk about it anymore because of the type of ridicule and the lack of support that they get. Now, I don't fully, totally blame people for not believing something like this. This is a very difficult thing to believe. And so I understand their side of it too. I really, really honestly do. It's just a hard fight. It's a hard fight, y'all. And you gotta really that's why I said you gotta make God your source. Because he will show us how to get through difficult times and how to handle difficult people and people that just may not ever get it. But God is a restorer. God is a healer. God, he can restore. Okay, so I'm having a hot flash, y'all. Okay, all right, I am, and my back is hurting, and yeah, my throat is hurt. Well, my throat is hurt, not hurting, but it's tired. So it's been an hour, like literally. I'm like 4 sec. Yeah, I'm less than a minute away from being on here in an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. Thank y'all for listening. I hope I didn't bore you all. I hope that I captured your interest, and I'll come back again, and I'll finish talking about some stuff that I didn't get to finish on this video. If I can remember, I don't know, y'all. Y'all know me. I might come back with a whole new topic. I don't know. But yeah, but I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for listening. I love y'all. CP Warriors, y'all hold your head up. Continue to be strong. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to like this video, comment, Yeah, leave me a comment, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. Tell me how y'all feel. Share this video. Hit that notification, button so y'all know, bell to know so y'all know the next time that I post another video. And help your girl get some more subscribers so we can spread this message. So yeah, that's it, y'all. I'm out. And I love y'all, and I pray that y'all have a great rest of the day.